all you YouTube sorry about that. Hello all you YouTube fans. This is Transit010 and I am back with another Batman review. And this one has been a long time coming. A lot of requests for this. The Iceglow Bathammer with lights up with flashing strobe attack. Yeah, it doesn't get any more 90s than that, huh? And unlike the Jet Blade, this vehicle actually has a picture of Hover Attack Batman at the controls and not George Clooney in the bat suit. So that's a little disappointment. This one looks more or less like the toy than anything else. And that's pretty much the box art. Let's get on with the toy now. And I don't really care much about the box. It's good to store the thing. And I'll tell you why. But other than that, you can pretty much just toss it around. The box sucks. There we go. There we have the body. It's not very... It's only got 2 wheels, as you can see. It's got the opening cockpit. And for some unknown reason, this thing being a land vehicle has wings. Now, it could be because it's more of a snowmobile than anything. The wings have more stabilization purposes than actual flying. And to make the toy a little bit more fun, as you notice, there are these little C-clamps here. Each have missile launchers. Complete with these ridiculously long bat heat-seeking missiles. And we also have a dorsal fin. Just make things a little bit more fun. Alright, now you may be wondering, except for the triple bat review, why I decided to show you this in pieces and not all together the finished product. And here's why. This thing, even as a child, this thing was a pain to put together. Because not only did you have to clamp these together, you also had to make sure that these little pieces fit in the little grooves marked here and meow. Oh yeah, it's also got this little thruster with an actual, and you probably see the little light bulb in there. The toy looks overall rushed. I mean, there's also lights through here. But once again, you just see the internal mechanisms of the thing, and this thing was just rushed from the get-go. So it kind of loses points on that. It does have that little turbine thing that was just like the Batman and Robin Batmobile. And when you open it up, you do see some really cool controls. Some really nice sticker detail for the controls. This is another reason why I chose to have it in parts first. I don't know what these guides are supposed to mean. Maybe tells you if you're overheating your Bathammer. And of course, it's also got the little Batman and Robin insignia that was on pretty much every Batman and Robin toy. But this is one of my favorite parts. I'm going to try and zoom in. It's got like a little map of Gotham City. That is really cool. It's almost like, I don't know, like tech details from the Generation 1 Optimus Prime's trailer. And for fans of that, you know which one I'm talking about. It just sits in like so. Alright. Now let's put the thing together. And, oh yeah, I forgot. Before I put this thing together, I almost forgot. I forgot to look at these wings. As you can see, the wings, they're just like bat wings. And you're expecting, since this is late 90s Kenner, this is right as they were being absorbed by Hasbro completely, there's going to be dull and boring stuff on the bottom of these wings. But, wow! Look at that internal mechanized fluff! little coils and gears and other pipelines and stuff. This is pretty cool. They actually put some real thought into just glamorizing the bottom of these wings. Even if the little mold details, the little molding pieces here to actually keep the wings nice and sturdy kind of interfere with it, there's no way any of this stuff would actually work or be functioning on a wing. It's still very nice that Kenner Hasbro actually gave us these. This is pretty nice. And I'm assuming the other wing has it as well. Yeah, it does. Sweet. Okay, now I've teased you enough. Now let's put this thing together. Alright. Now, this wing goes here, and this wing goes here. Alright. See? Now we gotta realign them clamps, so. Alright, there's one. Now for the other. Yeah, did I mention that at like 10 years old, that thing was really hard to put together? Ugh, jeez. Okay, we're almost done. Now for the easy part, the fin. It goes into these grooves here. Snaps in so you know you're done. And the missiles. Let's put the missile launchers in. Missiles. As you notice, these missile launchers, they have little grooves. So they fit into the C-clamps. There we go. And now we're done. And here it is. This is the Iceglow Bathammer. Overall, it's a very nice looking toy. I mean, it's completely gray. I think it should be, a little bit more white. Just, you know, or at least a icy blue, just because it is, you know, supposed to be a snow vehicle. Gray doesn't really camouflage as well. But I do love how it kind of like the black kind of, it almost looks as if it was a black vehicle, but it has like ice sickles on it. That's what it looks like. It almost looks like snow has blanketed this vehicle. And of course we also have these. These are shields. Would have been nice if maybe they kind of popped out a little bit. Just for a little extra thing, you know, pop out for shields. But then again, it really wouldn't affect much. It would just cover, it will probably just protect this part of the wing. And then of course each missile launcher fires. But I've gone on and on and on and on about this vehicle. There is something else that really makes this vehicle unique, and one reason why a lot of people have requested it, and it's probably its electronic feature. Here we got, much like the Batman Forever Batmobile, we have a screwed in battery cover. So, we get our own little screwdriver. And a little bit more for good measure. Alright, now we... Wait a minute, where's the clip? How am I going to remove the battery cover? I guess I could put that little... No, that ain't going to work. ain't gonna work. How am I... Great job, Hasbro Kenner. Nice that you put, like, you know, a little screwed in battery cover in here, you know, I guess to keep the battery cover in place so the batteries don't fall out. But do you think maybe you could have added a clip here? Come on! I know this was pretty futile at this moment because Kenner doesn't exist anymore and Hasbro doesn't own the Batman Master License anymore. But still, you think even they could have come up with something... Come on! Well, great, the screw's out. Yeah. After pounding it, keep your jokes to yourself. All I got is that screw. Seriously, do I have to get like a dime or a nickel or something to get this battery cover off? And after 5 minutes later, trying to find something to remove this battery cover, here I have a dime. Ugh. Don't work. Where are these instructions? Okay, raise cosmic canopy, apply 7 and 6 at the same time, load projectiles. The load batteries. Remove screw with Phillips screwdriver, hint on that. Remove battery cover panel. Remove battery cover panel. Caution to avoid battery. I read that before removing the product. Doesn't say anything on how you're going to remove the battery cover. They just assume that any idiot can, come in here and just plop this thing open. This thing's coming apart. That came off. Missile launcher came off. Everything's coming off this thing except for the battery cover. Look at that. It's still attached. How can I properly review this toy, its electronic features, if I can't get this freaking battery cover off? That's the whole point of this toy. You have to replace the batteries. You have to be able to get the battery cover off, to replace the batteries, to activate the electronic features, to activate the little strobing light that's supposed to move every time you turn this little wheel, but it doesn't work. Because you can't do any of that if you can't get this blasted battery cover off! There's gotta be some sort of nail file or something around here, little picker. Alright, last ditch effort. The universal tool, the screwdriver. Alright. Let's see if this works. Wait a minute. I think we got it. I think we got it! It's really hard doing this with one hand, too. I think we got it. Yes, success! Alright, we got the battery cover off. After hitting it and using a dime and going through the instructions. All that took was a freaking screwdriver! Alright. Since this is a toy from the 90s, or late 90s, I assume it takes AA, so I got my AA batteries here. And we'll put the double A's in here. C batteries! What kind of monstrosity takes C batteries? All the... Oh, C batteries. Okay. So, there we go. Got our C batteries in here. There we go. You don't even need the screw. I mean, it holds in place by itself. Alright, let's put this thing back together. Okay, now we got this. We got this. But to fully demonstrate, we're going to need a pilot. So, we're going to get out our old friend. Oh wait, no, I forgot. This video was destroyed along with my other Irene videos. Whatever, he's an old friend to me, new friend to you. He's Batman, hover tech Batman, nice George Clooney likeness. I'll redo his review later. And he fits in snug just like so. Just like so. Kind of have to force him in here. He's not that comfortable to fit. But as long as it closes, we're good. Okay. Now we're ready to roll this sucker. So, we're going to turn out the lights, or in this case, shut the shades. Okay. Now, before I get into this, one thing I do have to point out is it did come with a label sheet, and you may have noticed that you've probably seen all these labels here. You can put those pretty much anywhere you want, but I'm going to leave them on here. And 7 and 8, you probably never saw any rectangular labels in there. And the only labels were in the cockpit, right? Wrong. Turn this thing around. Again, for like the umpteenth time. And you see 2 stickers here. One with a full sun and one with a half sun. They actually wanted you to put stickers on here to remind you which direction these lights go. I mean, you all know what I mean. Anyway, you're supposed to move this light. If you move this switch here, as you can see, nothing's on. That's because you actually have to... Oh, no, it wasn't that wheel. It was that wheel. Okay, so you roll this wheel. That's your strobe effect. Move it to here, and it's just solid light. Okay, I turn a switch. Okay, there we go. Okay. I was getting a little worried because when I turned the switch on the first time, it took about 5 seconds or so for the light to actually come on. That's another thing I'm going to have to worry about, I guess. Okay. At least Batman stayed in there. Would have been nice if that actually clamped on instead of just, you know, just flopping around like that, but whatever. There's probably a lot of people over here that's like, you're ruining one of my favorite toys. And I'm not really trying to. Okay. So now... I forgot to turn it on. Forgive me. Alright. Wow. Okay. I'm gonna have to go into, like, it seems like a completely darkened area. So, okay, I know this is black. This is, you know, the camera's not going to be picking up much of anything. But this is the only way that I'm going to be able to show the really cool rolling power of this machine. Oh look, you can see a little bit here. Woo, yeah! We're having fun now, aren't we? This was actually pretty cool. Now, why couldn't... That would have been pretty cool if they actually had the Batmobile do this. Put lights in all around here. As you can see, the sides do light up. And these, it's supposed to actually catch on to this, and it's actually supposed to make the missiles look like they're, you know, illuminated. And if at certain angles it kind of looks like they've done their job, but it doesn't really work. But yeah. Whee! Uh-oh. And that's the Bathammer. Now, you can have that really cool strobe effect, which isn't much of a strobe. When you're thinking strobe, you're thinking like, you know, actual repeating lights. This is more of just, you know, a blinking light, a warning light, something you may see on a ship. Or, you know, a radio tower. That's not really a strobe, but of course, the faster you roll, the faster lights, so. Yeah, we got a strobe now! And of course, if you had like epilepsy or something and can't really take strobes, we just go on to the far, and as you can see, we have a solid light. Now, of course, it tried to recreate the kind of like strobe light effect that it had in the original movie. But of course, in the movie, it wasn't really much for strobe. It was just a light, and it had like a little spinning turbine fan thing that would distribute the lights, and it made it look like that it was, you know, blinking when it really wasn't. It was just a solid light. And, I think that's it. That's all I can show you for this. I pretty much milked this review for all it's worth. So let's get back to civilization, or civilization. Well, I am in my bathroom, so yeah. So we're back. And pretty much to sum up everything about the Iceglow Bathammer, we had some fun with the vehicle. I showed you the electronic features, the strobe light effect, and now that we have it on, you know, it's solid light, no blinking. I can summarize the vehicle. It's a very nice design. It's possibly one of the better Batman and Robin vehicles. It's definitely better than the Batmobile. But I do have to say that the electronic features and the overall design cannot save it from a mediocre review. I mean, yeah, it's nice that you can fit a Batman vehicle in there, but he fits in there a little too snug. He is a little, really wouldn't look comfortable. The hands are kind of just grinding up against the sides of the car, and I guess that's why they actually have the controls, the throttles over here instead of like over here or a steering wheel here, so that Kenner actually anticipated their dynamic sculpt and actually did something with it. So you gotta give them props to that. But they really should have scaled their Batman figures to actually fit inside their vehicles. And once we got to the late 90s, that just wasn't happening anymore. We didn't get neutral posed figures to sit in these vehicles. So you gotta give them props to that, but you gotta take away from it. I do love the whole ice on a black vehicle look to the vehicle. It gives it a nice little flair. I do wish they should have used white or maybe a glacier blue color just to jazz it up a bit. I mean, it's Joel Schumacher's films. The movies were not dark to begin with, so they don't need to be dark. Plus, it's supposed to be camouflage. It's supposed to be a vehicle used in ice, and gray doesn't camouflage well in ice. Oh, yeah, the missiles launch, but because they're so ridiculously long, they actually fall close to the ground and they more or less slide across than actually fire. So you gotta take away from propulsion a little bit. But the major thing that all of this is just nitpicking compared to this, also assembly, you know, but whatever. That is just nitpicky from this. This forsaking battery cover. I had so many problems trying to replace this battery cover as a kid. I hated this battery cover almost with a passion. And as an adult, I'm reminded of why it was so difficult to play with this toy when the batteries ran out. I mean, you couldn't pull it off with your fingernails. I mean, you just ruin your fingernails. I'm sounding like a chick now, huh? You pretty much have to get like into this little groove here, and with a screwdriver was I able to get this battery cover off. Even after so many attempts with my fingernails, with a coin, any straight edge, it was just that. It was the very wet tool I used to remove that screw was the one thing that was going to open that up. Almost like removing Excalibur from the stone. But other than that, it's a nice vehicle. I really can't recommend it. It's nice, but I really can't recommend it because it's just so rare and people are going to spend a crap load of money on this thing. It was only released for 1 year in 1997, and then after pretty much Batman and Robin flopped at the box office, you know, you never really saw it again. It's really hard to find these things, but if you really loved Batman and Robin, and if you had fond memories of this as a child, or you're just a die-hard fan, my review isn't going to stop you from buying this thing. But for others that are just casual into this, just watching my reviews, I'm not going to recommend it to you. I like the vehicle. I'm going to keep it because it was fun as a child, especially that kind of strobe effect was kind of fun to play with. You had toys that played in the dark, but other than that, as an adult, you know, I really can't see. There are better Batman vehicles out there. And this was something that was just thrown together for the movie. It wasn't in the main vehicle line. I mean, it wasn't. You all know what I'm trying to say here. I'm stuttering and I'm really backtracking. So I'm going to end this review here. And this is my second to last Bat vehicle in my entire collection. I only have one more. I briefly showed it on here, so you all know what it is. That one will be coming up maybe sooner, but I got some other stuff that I've got in the pipeline for you guys. So until next time, this is Trans810 signing off.